Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Banker Next Door. I am your host, Dr. Joe Berquist. Today, we have a great interview slated for you. I have Omar Jordan, the CEO and founder of Coviance, and can't wait to talk to him about all the great products that his company currently offers. And with that, I am going to bring Jordan in here. And here we are. Jordan, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Joe? Thanks for having me. Excited to be with you.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining us. And I guess we could kick it off by could you just maybe start to just tell us a little bit about your company?
Well, I started Coviance, formerly known as Lender Close, back in 2015, and the idea was to invite community lenders, community banks, and credit unions to a platform that allows them to navigate through. There was a big thing happening back then, the CFPB, the creation of the CFPB, and so allowing them to navigate through a lot of those compliance, playbook that was just coming out was the idea behind the platform. And from there, it just became really interesting as we onboarded more and more customers, and I was able to afford, talent. It's amazing what can be done with a group of talented people that we have here at Coviance and the automation that we've injected into the entire process. It's just been fun to see, and customers who've been through us since the beginning, just constantly speaking highly about our team and the technology we put forward.
That's great. So you guys have been in business for about 9 years now. Like how has the team grown? Like how many team members do you currently have? Like what'd you start with, and kind of where are you
Yeah.
guys at now?
Well, today we're about 75. When I started the concept, it was just me, and it was a part-time concept. Off the side of my desk as a, hey, I have an idea. Can I actually make this work? And I reached out to a software engineer that still works with us to this day. He happens to be a principal engineer, and I said, I've got this crazy idea. These are the things that I'd like to do. Can you build it? And he's like, you know what? Let me take a crack at it. And about 6 months in, you're ready for a demo? I said, yeah. And here we go. And then it was just so much fun, to back in the day, reminisce sometimes where, I'm gonna call with a customer or a prospect on a Monday. They like what they're seeing, but they want something else. And I'm like, yep, we'll come back next week and we'll have it ready for you. And then here I am next week, set up a call with Michael, my principal engineer today, uh, presenting this new technology. So when you were that small and nimble back then, it was just the two of us. We're able to create solutions so fast and put them out to market. Today, it's a process, right? It's a process of product discovery, product teams, product marketing teams involving sales and marketing and technology and product. It's a much bigger animal, but yet we still have that startup mentality of moving fast, being nimble, looking at things, one quarter at a time to make sure we have a go to market that's faster than most of the giant, right, technology companies in the industry.
Nice. That's a great story. And so tell me something here. So your main product is kind of an automated home equity line of credit system. Would that be correct?
That's one way to describe what Coviance does. We automate the home equity and HELOC, and you could say portfolio real estate loan process for credit unions and community banks. And so we take their underwriting metrics, their process, that requires a tremendous amount of human capital intervention, and we work with them to automate that entire process. So we challenge them on some of the policies that they have and give them some best practices based on what our customers are leveraging. Our focus is to focus on the desired business outcome for our customers, right? And try to help them think through what that is. And it's more of a consultative approach, and we back it up with some exceptional customer success team that we constantly get great ratings on.
So let me ask you this: is this an end-to-end automated system? Like in other words, does this cover everything from the user input at the very beginning all the way to loan documentations at the very end?
Yeah, so it can be that way, right? We've got some point of sale solutions, as you mentioned here, and we've got some. We're working on some pre-point of sale concepts as well, partnering with other fintechs potentially, inviting them into our Coviance platform or integrating it into the loan origination system. So we've got integrations into mortgage loan origination system and consumer loan origination systems. Some credit unions, some community banks have, they process home equity on consumer LOS, and some process, home equity on a mortgage LOS. We're agnostic. We integrate into all aspects of LOSs, whichever open APIs are available, whatever the customer wants us to do. And we have a small segment of our customers that really don't have an LOS, and they rely on our technology to do a lot of the automation, and they do the credit decisioning maybe on their own or on their core processor. But we're agnostic as to where the customer wants to run it. We have feedback for them as to where it belongs based on their desired business outcome. But outside of that, we're supportive of whichever decision they want to make.
Got it. Okay. So how many banks or credit unions are currently utilizing this system? How many are you currently working with?
We've got north of 425 banks and credit unions on our platform, and we focus on all size segments. Right. We have asset size banks and credit unions that are in a 50 or 25 to $50 million, and they're not necessarily doing a lot of volume, but our approach is really focusing on that community lending. If it wasn't for the community bank or credit union down the street, I wouldn't have my first home, right? Because I was underwritten back in I knew the underwriter, I knew the loan officer, and they gave me a chance for my first home or for my first personal loan. And so we really enjoy that segment of market that is hungry for technology, right? And they embrace it. And it's fast implementation for them too, because the decisions are made within 60 to 90 days to go to market with a product like Coviance. We also talk to or work with a lot of credit unions and banks that are above the $25 billion in assets. And so we're excited to partner with all segments, but our focus has always been making sure our communities, have access to lending technologies that allowing banks and credit unions to lend like fintechs do today, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And just for the context of our audience, I just want to point out that there are probably about 4,700 banks in the country. I think if you add in credit unions to that, it's probably about 5,400 financial institutions. So serving 400 plus financial institutions, that's a really nice segment of the overall market. So just to add a little context there for people who maybe don't understand the number of financial institutions. And so you guys have grown very fast and have done a very good job of servicing a good number of banks out there in a very, I think a relatively short period of time. So just so our audience kind of.
Thanks for that. Double click on that. And it speaks to not only the product, but the level of customer support and relationship management that we bring to the industry. It's not a technology platform where you buy it and then we'll send you an invoice next year. No, we're constantly reaching out to our customers. We want to know, what is their objective? What are they thinking about? That's how we build product solutions. We're constantly thinking about crazy ideas that really bridge the gap between the borrower experience, technology, compliance, automation, and this just makes it so much fun to come to work every day.
Nice. No, perfect. And then, so getting into another area. So what are some of the challenges or misconceptions that banks or credit unions might have about working with a company such as Coviance?
Well, I mean, we see this all the time, and we joke about it. Most of the time, a bank or a credit union's favorite loan originating system is their next one, right? Because they tend to focus on the LOS, and the LOS is going to solve all my problems. Well, LOSs are great for a lot of reasons. However, there are LOS partnership opportunities that every bank and credit union must consider, such as Coviance, and there are many great ones too out there that fulfill different needs for that specific financial institution. I think what I'd love for, again, what happens at a board meeting, right, and or a strategy meeting at the financial institution is identifying what is the business need, what is it that we're trying to accomplish as a business, and that's when you start to peel the onion, backwards or forward. It's what, not the how. Focus on the what right? And then from there, you can start to understand how do we navigate the next challenge, and what fintechs out there are willing to partner with us. Um, there's a lot of shiny objects at the same time, right? And so
Mhm.
knowing your market, understanding exactly what you're trying to accomplish without chasing shiny objects is also a crucial part of this.
And I will say, you and the individuals working at your company, you must have tremendous patience, because banks are historically, they're not known for moving very fast. Credit unions somewhat likewise. So for them to adopt new technology is not always the easiest thing in the world. So I give you and your company a lot of credit for being able to it must be a great product to get the banks to get on board with using it. That's for sure.
Well,
So,
you're not wrong. And if you look up pictures of me back in the day, I did have hair at some point. And so, that's what you get for being in the industry.
yeah, no, I hear that. So, you had kind of mentioned at the very beginning a little bit about the genesis of the company, but ultimately, how did you get into this business? Like, how did you decide to wake up one day and just say, "Hey, I want to get into starting kind of a fintech company that offers the
Yeah.
products that you do"?
Well, first of all, you have to be crazy to start a company. And I think people remind me of what I am every day in here. But on a serious note, really, I was a loan officer for a top three bank. And in 2005, we had better technology back then than most banks and community credit unions have today. I'm talking about community banks and credit unions. And so in 2005, when the market collapsed and layoffs happened, I was part of that, and I gotten to know to started a title company. Then I started a notary signing service, and we did a lot of transactions on a national level. I got close to the community lenders, and just listening to them, networking with them, I learned about their pain points, and it was like, wow, there's a big opportunity for this segment to really get technology and access to technology that they are looking for, right? And most fintechs that start maybe target the Wells Fargo's and the U.S. banks, and there's a tremendous amount of opportunity there. But for us, our focus has been, sort of what they stand for is serving the underserved, and then we wanted to rally behind that, and it's been quite a journey for us. It's certainly fun to uh, work with that segment of customers and help them achieve their desired business outcomes in order for them to continue to lend it to the community, right?
Yeah, no, perfect. And I thank you for sharing that, Omar, because I'm always fascinated by, kind of how people get to where they are, whether they're an entrepreneur or they just work in corporate America. I've always find that learning about the journeys of how people got to where they are, it always is, kind of enlightening for a lot of different reasons. So thanks again for sharing. So to kind of wrap up into the last couple questions. So, do you have a favorite business book, or maybe something business related that you recently read? And do you have do you have a famous or a favorite business related movie?
Well, on the book side of things, I could tell you, frankly, I have the attention span of a 15-year-old. I have a severe case of ADD, so just holding a book that's an inch thick and reading it is a challenge for me. I do enjoy articles and headlines, and if something piques my interest, I love 15-minute documentaries on some things. I like to
Okay.
watch financial analysts give their feedback on the market and things like that. And I'm inspired by other entrepreneurs as they take the stage and tell their story. People who have climbed a mountain, as I like to say. My favorite business movie has to be one of them is Margin Call, and there's a scene in there, and it's the emergency boardroom scene. It's about
Yep.
10 minutes. So when the chairman of the board walks in until he exits, and what I love about that is it just encompasses the different personalities in my company.
Hmm.
There's a risk averse people, and there's the aggressives, and then there's people in between, and there's the number crunchers, and there are the people that love the code, and just seeing that and the dynamic of what happens in a boardroom, especially at that time. What a great movie! It's one of my favorite scenes. I continuously watch it every now and then.
Oh, I love it. So I did a podcast episode just a few weeks ago on I listed out my favorite business related movies and what I thought were kind of the best business related movies. And Margin Call was absolutely on that list. It's one of my definitely one of my favorite movies. Absolutely fantastic. A great cast. Just the writing was great. I thought they did an incredible job of just capturing that moment in time, and
Yes.
I thought they just really nailed it. And just and just the and they really do a great job of really putting in full display the ethical dilemmas, just the ethics of what was going on in that moment, and just the kind of the ethics and the morals and the decision making of people at all levels of a obviously large organization. But it's just a great, and like you said, that boardroom scene that's a fantastic scene. So yeah, I know I highly recommend that to anybody who has not seen that movie, A Margin Call. So, and then
Yep.
I've got there was a movie I just got on BlackBerry that just
Oh
came out
yeah.
earlier this year, and so I
Yep.
actually got that. I'm looking forward to watching that soon,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then doing a review of that movie to let people know if that's worth it or if that's any good to check out. So like I said, keep posted for that. That'll be coming soon. So.
Look
But
forward to it.
but anyway, but I mean, thank you so much for joining us today, Omar. If anybody is interested in reaching out to you or your company to get in contact with you to learn more about your products, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. It's probably the only social media that I like to be on. So please come out and reach out to me, O Jordan or Omar Jordan, on LinkedIn. My email is ojordan@Coviance, and then coviance.com to learn more. Happy to show you a demo personally if you're interested in exploring our product.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that'd be great. And I'll tell you what, I'm working on something. Maybe sometime in the next 6 months, I'd love to do kind of like a banking technology panel. And so I'll reach out to you and talk to you about that offline, and we'll see if we can. But I'm trying to put together a couple people to maybe talk about in a technology of banking in a more broader sense on kind of just a overall what's going on in technology and in the banking industry right now. So. But like I say, yeah, we'll like I said, we'll save that for another time, no doubt.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Great. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, Omar, and we definitely look forward to having you back again sometime in the near future.
That's fun to be on. Thanks for having me.
Great. Okay, everyone, that was Omar Jordan, CEO and co-founder of Coviance. We thank him so much for joining us again today. So I would tell you, if you like this episode, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you have comments, please leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to get back to you. And make sure to go check out Coviant. I will put some information about their contact links in the embedded description below. And make sure to come back and check us out again real soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.